In this webinar, what we wanted to aim for is to manage to bring together 5 different European Horizon Europe funded projects that all have some commonalities. They have in common the objective to contribute to different extent to the achievement of several European Green Deal objectives in view of the reach of the very ambitious goal of a fast green transition. All of these projects that you will hear from in a few minutes are totally dedicated at the design, testing, and development of green technologies and services. And all of them aim at the maximization of energy efficiency, whether addressing different field of disciplines like the smart transport, like in the case of Mobispaces and Emeralds, or in urban mobility context, the water management solution domain, or the agri-food sector. Today, in this webinar, you will have the chance to get to know a bit more about this project and the supportive cutting-edge groundbreaking technologies that stand at the baseline and behind this project, straight from the horse's mouth, because we have a representative for each of these projects, namely from the experts and members of each of the 5 projects itself that I will present to you shortly. Before moving forward, I wanted to share with you a few very practicalities and guidelines to better enjoy this afternoon webinar. The webinar is structured in 2 different parts. In the first part, each project will present itself with a very short 5 minutes, let's say, elevator pitch, where you can maybe learn more about them, about their objectives, about their expectations, and about the potential key exploitable results they are aiming at. In the second part, instead, we will run an open discussion, as we like to call it, a round table among all of our guests and speaker, where we also encourage you to ask questions, to drop questions to each of the project representative in view to stimulate an interesting discussion among each of the project and each of the different domains that we are going to tackle. Of course, in order to ask a question, you can leverage the usual Zoom features, like dropping your curiosity and a Q&A in the box at the bottom of the screen. And I also wanted to share with you, and also with those that are not attending physically, so digitally today, that the webinar is going to be recorded, and both the video and the actual registration of the webinar will be available very soon, most likely tomorrow, on our webpage at Mobispaces. The roundtable at the end will be very, very effective, and it will be an important moment to share thoughts and insights on key aspects of this project, like the sustainable practices, ethical considerations, the innovative technologies used by the project, and the long-term vision. So a very running through the list of the speakers. The first presentation will be given by Matteo Falsetta, EU Project Manager, GFT Italia SRL, and representative of Mobispaces. It will be followed by Dimitros Alevras, Project Manager at Inlecom and representing here GreenDatai. The third speakers will be Gerasimos Anzolatos, Senior Research Associate at Multimodal Data Fusion and Analytics Groups. That is talking on behalf of Waterverse in this webinar. The fourth speakers will be Dimitris Skoutas, Principal Researcher at IMSI and representative of Stelar. And we will conclude the round of presentation with Mr. Yannis Theodoridis, Professor of Data Science at the University of Piraeus in representation of Emeralds. So with no further ado, I would like to give the floor. First of all, I would like to ask to all of you, for those who haven't done yet, to follow us on our social media. You can clearly see displayed in here. But I would like now to leave the floor to my colleague Matteo Falsetta to start the round of presentation with Mobispaces. Matteo, good afternoon. Thanks for having joined us, and the floor is yours whenever you want. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Francesco, for the introduction and for organizing this webinar. And thanks to all the colleagues who are participating, and also to the audience. I'm sharing the presentation. Please let me know whether you can see it properly.
Yeah, it's now fully displayed, Matteo. Perfect.
Great. Okay, so I'm Matteo Falsetta, your project manager from GFT, and we are coordinating Mobispaces. This project has a variety of partners, and I really like to highlight this because I always like to see such co-funded projects as a work from a team, first of all. So it's beautiful to see how there is a collaboration even between players that typically are seen as competitors. So you can see by just glancing at this table that there are many players involved from many different areas of expertise. And this project has already been started in September, and it's going to be ending on August, actually in 2025. And it's approximately 9 million euros budget project that has the aim of delivering basically an end-to-end mobility-aware and mobility-optimized governance platform that aims at improving the data path in order to have a more efficient and less impactful in terms of the green aspects and sustainability aspects of it, by optimizing through an AI-based logic the flows of data and their storage. So basically, as you can see from the picture, there are many layers involved. So there is, as a background, the green and environmental dimensioning workbench in order to dimension the impact that we can have during this processing of the data path. And there is the data governance platform that receives as an input from many different use cases that I'm going to briefly introduce, different data then that are collected through in situ processing in order to give actionable insights on a real-time base. So these data are shared among the platform and many different players, such as maritime authorities, public organizations, even citizens, and regulatory bodies, in order to have also an eye on the legal and ethical framework. And it's all in a data security and privacy framework. So I'm avoiding further details on the technical point of view, but basically it's by extracting data from ubiquitous mobile sensor that we aim at having an efficient, decentralized, secure, and trustworthy pipeline that can avoid having excessive data transfer and high storage redundancy. You can see two of our main tools. So the project will produce an AI-based data operations toolbox and an edge analytics suite that will implement different logics in order to process data in the way I have been presenting. And we are going to be testing such outcomes through the different use cases we have, thanks to the partners of the project, namely AMT, Bosch, Marine Traffic, Frequentis, and GST, that offers us two domains of applications. One of which is urban and is represented by a couple of use cases, and the maritime that is represented by other three use cases. Just giving a brief detail on the urban ones. One is involving a city and their sensors. So it's the city of Thessaloniki. We will be exploiting sensors to assess the quality of the air, and AMT is going to be applying this data governance platform in order to have predictive maintenance logic. Whereas in the maritime aspect, we are going to find the best solution to have an efficient route and to guarantee the lower possible emission of CO2 and the real-time assessment of the route and the situations going on the sea in order to better assess what can be measures and actions to be taken into consideration. And these are just the main objectives that the project has. So we're going to have a transparent data governance platform for trustworthy and reusable data operations, a green AI enhanced data management, an end-to-end declarative query processing, and as you can see also listed, application in the industrial and societal settings, and always a lot of importance to the sustainability aspect. So thanks a lot for your attention, and see you later in the roundtable.
Thank you very much, Matteo. It's been a very speedy and effective wrap up of the project advancement in the last few months. It's not easy to, for all of you, to wrap up everything in a one-size-fits-all 5 minutes presentation. But I think that this will be very helpful to spark the conversation in the last roundtable session. So said this, I would now like to give the floor to Dimitrios Alevras to share with us a bit more of GreenDatai AI. Floor is yours, Dimitrios.
Thank you very much, Francesco. Thanks for the invitation as well. It's Dimitrios Alevras, and I'm working on Inlecom. We are an IT solutions company, and we are actually coordinating GreenDatai AI project, the acronym of Energy Efficient AI Ready Data Spaces. And it's a 3 years project fully funded by European Commission, started from January 2023, 6 months ago. Briefly, I'm going to present you today GreenDatai AI goal, the main objectives, the consortium, the motivation, the idea behind the project, the technology to be developed, and expected and concrete contributions to the European common data spaces, and in the end, identifying or expected needs for collaborations with data spaces and other initiatives. So GreenDatai AI aims to develop energy efficient large-scale analytics services by leveraging European data spaces. And the services ready to use an industrial AI-based system that can reduce the environmental impact of data management processes and deliver and distributed open source green AI machine learning data platform and the toolbox for AI-ready data spaces. The main objectives are 5, the following ones, starting from the definition of the data management foundation framework, and we're currently working on the reference architecture compliant with GAIA-X and IDS. The second is the big data analytics infrastructure and other tools to support dynamic data sharing in industrial ecosystems. The third one is that we focus on the development of a novel energy efficient large-scale data analytics services, including federated learning and other tools to support the deployment of operational solutions using the facilities developed in the second objective. And the development of 6 different demonstrators, use cases in real life settings, representative of multiple domains with diverse optimization challenges. Our project is an innovation action project, so the real level is higher than the research innovation actions projects. And the last objective is about upscaling and commercialization to accelerate transition. We are a big consortium of 17 different partners from 10 countries, plus an associate partner, well balanced in terms of expertise with key roles in a number of projects in the past, and coming from a variety of sectors that can contribute to industry adoption and stimulate uptake at other sectors as well. I'm trying to be really brief. I want to talk about the motivation that is the most important thing behind any idea, and answers to the question, why are these new tools needed? Why? Because artificial intelligence increases considerably energy and resource consumption, and we need faster inference with a shorter reaction time, processing data on the edge to lower transmission costs, and comprehensive tools for using data spaces are in their infancy. So that's all of the reasons why, those are all of the reasons why we want to develop new services. What kind of services? Energy efficient, large-scale data analytics services, like the 9 paradigms that we can see on the right of these slides, such as AI-enabled data enrichment, mechanisms for data sharing, synthetic data generations, and etc. These services we aim at adjusting on the 6 different pilots or demonstrators or use cases, call it as you want, focusing on smart electric vehicle charging, data sharing across the renewable energy sector, smart farming optimization, water management, banking fraud detections, and demand response in e-bikes and infrastructure planning. So we focus on 4 different sectors, such as smart energy, agriculture, mobility, and banking. And of course, to contribute to the European common data spaces, as they once say, the corresponding sectors are agriculture, finance, mobility, and energy under the main umbrella of European Green Deal. In the end, that's the reason why I think we are all here to meet each other, first of all. So there are several actions under in our work plan, focusing on liaisoning with BDVA and other initiatives. We want we focus on creation of synergies to exchange knowledge and link with other projects and initiatives, and to further cooperate and organize and co-organize with BDVA as well, our consortium members and other project coordinators, etc. Different events such as conferences and special sessions like the one of today. And thank you very much at this point for the invitation and for giving me the chance to present the project.
You're very welcome, Demetrios, and you've been really exhaustive and effective. I liked your last slide very much. That's our main goal as well, knowledge exchange, knowledge sharing. I also refer to what Matteo said at the beginning. We're not competitors in the end. I mean, we have to fully leverage this opportunity. We started pretty much more or less in the same timeline, so I think we have to. I don't want to say work hand in hand, but definitely we have to talk to each other. So thanks again, Demetrios. So
please, if you want, follow us in the social media.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I left the screen untouched. Thank
you very much again.
Thanks again. You're welcome, Demetrios. So I would like now to move fast toward the third speakers. That is Gerasimos and Soulatos. Excuse my pronunciation, Gerasimos. I don't know whether it's fully correct or not, representing Waterverse, sorry. And the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Francesco, from the invitation for this webinar. I'm Gerasimos Soulatos, Senior Research Associate at the Information and Technologies Institute of the Center for Research and Technology, Hellas. And currently I'm working on the Waterverse project as a project manager. A few words about the project. It is funded by European Commission and it belongs under the topic Data 0103, launched on October 2022, and then now is approaching at the end of the 8th month of its life. The consortium is comprised of 17 partners in a total from 10 European member states, including a research technology organization, SMEs, large industry, and NPO for water and ICT domain. The Waterverse mission is to develop a water data management ecosystem for making data management practices and resources in the water sector accessible, affordable, secure, fair, and easy to use. To accomplish these 5 main complementary scientific objectives have been determined. The first objective concerns the actively involvement of the end users to stakeholders to identify and assess the main gaps and challenges in the water sector related to the data management. The second objective attempts to integrate a wide set of data management tools to implement an extendable, distributed, user-friendly water data management ecosystem, which will build upon data space components and building blocks already available from Fiber and the International Data Space Association. The third objective concerns the ecosystem the ecosystem will be demonstrated in 2 evaluation cycles and at a real environment with relevant and diverse case studies involving the water sector stakeholders from 6 countries: Cyprus, Spain, Germany, Netherlands, Finland, and the United Kingdom. And the fourth objective deals with the security and energy efficiency issues. The water data management ecosystem ensures that data sharing and data availability process will perform in a secure environment. So we are going to develop and implement cyber threat intelligence techniques to guarantee confidentiality, integrity, and availability on the data management systems. Also, we are going to develop an energy efficient approach based on machine learning technologies aiming to save energy from the demanding water data management processes. Furthermore, we are going to establish a fair ecosystem by setting clear and measurable indicators for assessing fairness of data. One of the key outputs is the development of the Waterverse fair guidelines that are specifically tailored to the water sector. This is an overview of the general picture of the Waterverse. We try to, as I said before, we try to build up on Fiber and IDSI technologies, building blocks for data spaces in order to empower the data interoperability, data sharing, and also create in a trustworthy environment and create a data value for the stakeholders. Data management ecosystem, we will develop data processing techniques based on the artificial intelligence and other innovative technologies in order to be able to enhance the interoperability among the stakeholders and also across domain, cross-sector domain, and other sectors. So currently, as we know, we are in the era of Industry 4, and the advantage of in Internet of Things and smart remote sensing have contributed to the generation of massive volumes of data by heterogeneous sources that need to be intelligently analyzed. Artificial intelligence, machine learning technologies are the key to this. Therefore, today, reliable predictive and prescriptive data analytics models based on the AI, advanced sensing and modeling technologies, as well as semantic representation and reasoning and smart data models have been developed and applied in numerous sectors, fostering the business intelligence processes. On the other hand, in the water sector, is undergoing the so-called fourth revolution, which involves establishing water conservation strategies and transition towards digital transformation. Water utilities worldwide have started to adopt technologies achievement driven by AI, big data, Internet of Things, moving to hydraulic modeling 1 to 2. However, the digitalization of the water sector is characterized by certain gaps and challenges that should be addressed. To name a few, the water market is fragmented and lacks standardization. Numerous water utilities of various sizes have unique problems and need tailor-made solutions, and hence difficult to industry-wide standards. Also, different ways of exchanging data and different national, local semantic definitions need to be improved. This issue with data exchange and their availability remains a key challenge to uptake the digital solution. The legacy system prevent the uptake of open source solutions. This means current legacy systems that are used in many purposes handle to shift the transition to open source software. Sometimes it is technologically possible to fully integrate new Internet of Things-oriented technology solution and services into the current functioning systems. Also, the water systems are evolving into cyber-physical systems, into cybersecurity is becoming increasingly important. So we need to establish a global integrated security context, which are still missing. And to make cost-effective and relative digital solutions, such as sensing technologies, need to be produced on a large scale. However, in the water sector is related to small economically, hence the water digitalization is hampered by market size of the sector. Thus, there is a lack of reference EU legislation to EU standards that are explicitly used or whose use is explicitly recommended. So the relation between standards and regulation is still not clear. So in the Waterverse, we aim to deal with those limitations to provide a base of efficient data management by combining cutting-edge technologies and empowering data sharing, interoperability, and trustworthy. This means that the tools, services, and organizational practices will be exchanged and shared in trusted manner among stakeholders in the water sector, but also among stakeholders in other sectors. Furthermore, the Waterverse regulations in the field of data sharing and exchange and adopt fair principles and Melota 5 principles in order to strengthen the interoperability and the reusability of the data. So, more or less, this is a brief overview of the Waterverse. Thank you for your attention. You can reach us on the Twitter and LinkedIn, as well as in the web page where we can find more information about the project. Thank you for the attention.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Gerasimos. Well, we know, I'm fully aware, it's a lot of dense information to be digested all at a glance. So, well, by the way, I want to recall and remember to our audience that the slides will be available as well, not just the recorded happening of the webinar. But you are free to get in touch to each of the speakers. You have all of the corresponding contacts in here. Thanks again, Gerasimos. I want to stress the FAIR principle point, and we are very keen of all of the 5 projects, and it's been really helpful to be brought up. So with this, I'd like to move forward to our 4th speaker. It is Dimitris Skoutas, representing Stelar. So Dimitris, whenever you're ready, the floor is yours now.
Hello. Let me also share my screen. Can you see the presentation now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for the invitation. So my name is Dimitris Skoutas. I'm a researcher at Athena Research and Innovation Center in Athens, Greece, and also the coordinator of the Stelar project, which I'm representing here today, and I will try to introduce briefly in the next 5 minutes or so. So to begin with, here you can see some basic information about the project. The full title is Spatiotemporal Linked Data Tools for the Agri-Food Data Space. It is an innovation action funded under the Call for Technologies for Data Management. The project started in last September 2022, so we're currently in the 1st year, particularly around month 9. and the foreseen duration is 36 months. You can also see here the consortium. We have 4 partners, research partners focusing mainly on data management technologies, machine learning, and AI. We have a company that provides a very popular data science platform, and 4 partners with high expertise in the domain of the agri-food sector. And of course, you can also find here the website of the project with more detailed information and also links to our social media if you are interested to follow us. I have tried to summarize here at a very high level the main objectives of the project. So first of all, our goal is to provide state-of-the-art data management tools that target specific common and important data management challenges, in particular related to data discovery, data integration, and data quality, or as we call it also the AI readiness of data with respect to their use in machine learning and AI applications. Then we want to integrate these tools in a so-called knowledge lake management system, or KLMS for short, and eventually to evaluate the KLMS in real-world use cases that involve data management challenges and data-driven decision-making, specifically in agri-food applications. Also, a few words about the motivation. Why Stelar? Why focus on such problems, and why target these kind of challenges? From a more technical perspective, we have a strong focus on data management in data lakes. The reason is that we see nowadays that data lakes are becoming increasingly popular. More companies and organizations are adopting this paradigm, aiming to collect large amounts of information, of data from many heterogeneous sources, and provide this to their data scientists so that they can directly tap into the data lake and perform ad hoc analysis to extract insights from the data. This offers high flexibility, but at the same time, it raises new challenges relating to difficulties about finding relevant data for a given task, combining and aligning data from different sources, and ensuring that the data is of high quality and sufficient to be used for training ML models and feeding AI applications. And these are the main challenges that we're actually trying to address with the tools that we provide in this project. Then from a more business point of view, why the agri-food data space? And the reason is that we consider agri-food as a very important data space, as it is also recognized in the European strategy for data. It is important both for our health in terms of food safety and food quality, but also for the economy and the environment overall. It is a sector that provides many opportunities because it is witnessing increasing digitalization, but also many challenges because in several cases it lags a bit behind with respect to the use of such technologies compared to other sectors. So as I mentioned, our vision is to develop a knowledge lake management system for fair and AI-ready data. And this is based on 2 pillars. On the one hand, developing a knowledge layer that enhances the data lake with a data catalog and a knowledge graph that semantically describes the data assets in the lake. And on the other hand, a toolkit that provides certain tools for common data management tasks like data profiling, search, exploration, data linking, alignment, data labeling, data augmentation, and bias detection. This is a high-level overview of the main components. So the KLMS is envisioned as a system that can be used on top of a data lake, providing some core components, which include the data catalog, the knowledge graph, a workflow manager, and tools for describing, linking, and annotating data. And it can be used for sharing data in the context of a data space. And to conclude with a few words about our pilots, our focus is on the domain of agri-food, as already mentioned, and we're trying to cover several use cases at different parts of the supply chain. So on the one hand, we have use cases related to food safety, extracting insights about food recall incidents, for example, and providing predictions about such risks, which is closer to the consumer side. And from the perspective of the producer, of the farmer, we are targeting data-driven decision-making about crop growth predictions and precision farming interventions. And that's it regarding a brief overview of the project. You can find more information in the website, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dimitris. It was really explanatory, very, very insightful. And it's been really nice to see how the commonalities are starting to come to surface. And again, looking forward to the final round of questions. There is a specific one that I'm really eager to listen to your thoughts about it. I want to bring this with too much anticipation. Thanks again. And now we are going to conclude the round of presentation with our last speakers. There is Yannis Theodoridis, and he's representing here the project Emeralds. So Yannis, whenever you want, whenever you're ready, you can set up your slides and you can go for it.
Yeah. Thank you, Francesco. Thank you for the invitation. I hope you can see my screen in full mode.
Yes, yeah, it's fine.
Just confirm. Thank you. So this is about Emeralds. Emeralds is extreme scale urban mobility data analytics as a service. As the title clearly defines, we are working on urban mobility, the data that can be gathered, collected from urban space, movement in urban space, and we are working on this data to product nice services. I forgot to say my title. I'm the technical manager in the Emeralds project. And very briefly, at a glance, we are a research innovation action project. Started just in January, so we are 5 months old, and the project will complete in December 25. And what is the vision? The vision of the project is to design, develop an urban mobility AI as a service toolset, as we call it, consisting of services. We call them Emeralds. In a bit more detail, all of us are aware of the huge volume, velocity, variety that is around mobility data, especially in urban space. The need, of course, is to analyze this data in both online and offline settings. How we can do that? We can do that with real-time responsive AI machine learning algorithms. Of course, it is essential, as usually, to have a responsive on-time visualization and visual analytics, and not to forget, not neglect the ethics and the privacy preservation aspects. These are more or less the umbrella of the project, but to go into a bit more detail, we have 4 objectives. The first objective is about to design a reference architecture for mobility data management. So we have historical and real-time data. We focus a lot on at the edge computing, at the edge analytics. The idea is somehow to pass some processing effort from the cloud to the edge, and try to measure, to quantify what is the gain in terms of, let's say, the green algorithms, in terms of environmental aspects. Of course, recalling the data analytics stuff, we have a lot of extreme scale data analytics that we have designed to perform, for instance, active and federated learning. And we have, in the end, we have 2 platforms to elaborate on. The second objective is, as I said, the Emeralds themselves, from the bottom up to the top of this list. We have secure data governance. We have a lot of processing, fusion, management techniques, explainable AI, federated learning, and as a third objective, we are working on the machine learning MLOps paradigm and the mobility analytics as a service paradigm. SMEs, public authorities, startups, of course, are interested in this, let's say, framework. On the one hand, on the other hand, we have a lot of data science experts from IT, from urban transportation to study and develop such algorithms. And the demonstrations will be over 3 use cases and 2, as we call them, early adoption applications. The 3 use cases are on the municipalities of Hague, Utrecht, and Riga, and the 2 early adoption applications are on PTV and the Kato platforms. And it is important for us, and therefore we are here, among others, that we would like to have synergies. We have several synergies designed. On the one hand, the data spaces initiative and the data and software sources. On the other hand, we have several data formats that we are working on and the disciplinary collaborations. We are very glad that we are here. It is very important that we have this webinar. It is part of our policy on dissemination. What is the consortium? And I'm concluding. We have 20 organizations from 10 European countries. All the names are here, coordinated by Inlecom, and of course, you are welcome to follow us in Facebook, Twitter, and other social networks. Many thanks. I hope I was brief. I could not exactly measure my time. I'm free to hear questions, and I will be happy to answer. Thank you, Francesco. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Yannis. You've been very to the point and super timely. And it's been really nice that you brought up the synergy aspect with the standard developing organization, something that well, we will have personally to work on Mobispaces as well, because the correlation with the SDOs is pretty crucial for the uptake of the result of our, I think, of the whole of our 5 projects. So I would like at this point to move very quickly towards the last part of this appointment of this webinar. So I would like to open up the conversation involving all of you. We have jotted down few questions for you that we would like you to intervene and hear your thoughts about. And I would like to start this roundtable tackling the innovative technologies that are at the very core, at the very baseline of your projects. This is something that I've already anticipated few minutes ago, and I'm really curious. I would like to know. I mean, each of your projects, even each of these projects, focus on some specific development of new technologies. But how could they work together? I mean, how useful would it be for these 5 projects an integrated approach to help all of you to reach your own goal? So I don't know, I would like to pick up to break the ice on this. Maybe you, Yannis, with the last speakers, you want to start to reply by, and then you can.
Yes, thank you, Francesco. Just to start the discussion, it is for sure that there are complementary things that we are doing. And actually the title of the webinar declares this complementarity. So yes, I would say that we can learn from each other. Emerald is clearly focused on mobility and urban space. On the other hand, there are other projects today that work on related data. All of us want to develop green algorithms. All of us have at a more or less degree the data spaces in our mind. So the result of a project can be input or can be added value to the other project. It is important that, if I'm not wrong, most of the projects are in the first year, if I remember well. So we can we can exploit on this and come back in a few months and say, what are the intermediate results? Let's have some brainstorming, just to start.
Yeah, I could add something like all of us, we have the same motivation. So let's say the goal is the same, even if we're different coming from different sectors and backgrounds. We work from, let's say, our perspective to meet the same requirements and reach the same goals. And don't forget that there are so many projects that the main idea comes from previous ones. So this is the knowledge transfer, exchange, and the creation of synergies is the most important thing. And actually, I would say the main reason of organizing and co-organizing events like this.
I would like to add that I also agree, of course, with this. And I think today is a very, very good first step to get to know in some more detail what each other is doing and exploit any opportunities. And indeed, although we are mostly in different sectors, the underlying theme is data management technologies and challenges. And already there are some commonalities from what we have seen. And I guess it would be interesting for every project to see how the provided solutions also might fit to other cases in other sectors that might have some little bit different but similar or common requirements, and get some ideas and some inspiration from other use cases.
Rasimos or Matteo, would you like to add your thoughts on this? Or
yes, I want to of course agree with other speakers, and we have a common ground in order to collaborate and create the synergies. And also this can help us in the technological perspective. Okay, it's have a common goals, and so can go very, let's say, easily. But the other barriers like the regulation and also ethical issues. So that there are some sectors are behind the others. So we need to, if we create a synergy, we can move forward faster and resolve issues from the lesson learned with the other project. So this is
yeah. I think there are two main aspects to deal with in terms of synergies. There is a layer that is represented by dissemination activities, like the one we are doing, for instance, and the other one, which is technology / expertise, as it was already mentioned. So it is very important to try to find touch points in order to be very effective, because the risk while talking about synergies is just to be a bit, broad and end up with a lot of ideas and not manage to have a pragmatic approach. So just to bring an example, while following all presentations, that has been very interesting. I think that with Dimitrios, we could talk about technology and requirements, because of our both mission of having a green impact, because we can think about common solutions, or in any case we can help one another. And on the layer of dissemination, we've been doing this nice webinar, and I hope there will be some follow-up, maybe also in gathering opportunities such as, I don't know, BDVA that has been mentioned, because these are good occasions to have roundtables and try to find common actions.
thank you very much. I'd like now then to shift the focus toward another very critical aspect that have been already preliminarily taken by some of your, maybe all of your presentation. it's kind of a buzzword for for many European projects. I'm talking about the long-term sustainability. And I mean, what I would like to ask you, how do any of your projects ensure to incorporate sustainable practices in your work on a concrete basis, making that a sustainability as a fact and not just a buzzword, by the way? Anybody who wants to just pick up the floor?
I could give an answer focusing on GreenDatai, for example, considering that, let's say that in general, sustainability is made of three main pillars, such as economy, society, and the environment. Also, in let's say in GreenDatai, our goal is to contribute to the scientific community by generating knowledge and publishing articles to present our toolbox capabilities and foundation. Another one is that I didn't have actually the time to talk about in my presentation are the KPIs and the testing framework, which constitute a knowledge gap. There's not enough literature, and this can be, let's say, in our project, the state of the art. And economical or technical, for example, we are developing, we aim at developing 6 AI-ready industrial systems, 9 ready-to-use services demonstrating improved energy efficiency. And the goal is demonstrating also the use of data from 4 European data spaces in AI industry applications. And regarding the society, in the end, since it's GreenDatai, is to reduce the emissions of CO2. I hope I covered you.
Yes, you did. I mean, you don't have to persuade me, but I think your answer has been really it's very concrete. I mean, pretty tangible. Maybe tangible is the right word. I mean, providing refutable proof that the sustainability of the project is really based on fact. That's what I mean. The Commission is asking us the most lately. I don't know. Anyone else would like to share your project view standpoint? Yanis?
Trying to somehow to mix the two questions that you made, the first about our collaboration, the second about the sustainability. It is important that it is very nice that among the projects we have today, others are research innovation actions that are target up to some level, tier level, and there are others which are innovation actions that have already started from a point and they want to move to go much higher. Is or would be result sustainable? What is the definition of a sustainable result? Perhaps the research innovation research projects may learn some of the lessons from the other projects. So it is also, I guess, a nice part of discussion. What are the lessons learned from the innovation action? Started from TRL 4 and going up to 6 or 7, and what can they teach to the research actions that start from much lower levels, TRL levels going up to TRL 4 or 5. We may elaborate more on this at a later stage.
Yeah, also, Francesco, even though it's very practical and in certain way a bit obvious, it's also important to be sustainable to try to be sustainable on a daily basis through our daily actions, such as, I don't know, when we organize meetings, for example, we try to reduce the printings and all materials in order to be less impactful towards the environment, or also try to limit our traveling, even though, as you know, sometimes I believe it's essential to gather face to face to proceed with our job. But I think that also the daily aspect should be taken into account.
Yeah, this is a mentality, I would say, and I totally agree with you. It's education. It's not only about developing innovative technologies.
Yes, I agree.
I agree, and perhaps I could also stress a bit the aspect of open science, and this is something that we try to pursue in Stelar and in other projects. And I think it is an important aspect to have open source components, open publications, because then other researchers and practitioners can benefit from these results, take up the results and apply them in some other context. And I guess it is a way to achieve sustainability and to move forward with what everyone is achieving.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, because don't forget that all of this money for all of these actions and projects and fundings are coming from the public and must be back to the public. So open science is the most important thing here.
Yeah, that's why I really stress this out to my consortium. They all know that I always stress the fact that I want all our tools to, or in any case, our approach to be as open as possible. Also because this is an important fact to highlight for the audience. As they can imagine, very often companies are reluctant in sharing data, in sharing information, because they suppose it's too much sensitive, and they fear that competitors or other players could somehow damage them. But the point is, in my opinion, as I said in the introduction of my presentation, we have to think that we are collaborators and that we are all aiming at the same goal. So let's be open. Yes.
So very good, guys. I think with a round of replies, you have also covered a part of the ethical aspect, like checking the open science criteria that is very relevant for all of the Horizon Europe funded projects nowadays. I think we promised to take this webinar running not longer than 1 hour. We like to do a series of these webinar appeals, so we are already running a bit out of time. We have just a pending question from the audience, and it specifically regards Mobispaces. I don't know, Matteo, if you want to give to Idris a quick reply. Maybe I can read over the question for you, for your benefit.
Yes, please.
Idris is asking a question related to Mobi data spaces. Is there any plan / option for data discovery in this project? And is it in some sense related to IDS International Data Spaces standards?
Yeah, as I mentioned, the project has started in September. These points have been taken into consideration, actually, and we want to exploit data discovery through our main tools that I have mentioned, so the AI-based data operation toolbox and the analytics, the Edge Analytics suite, by exploiting the AI in the first case and the analytics in the second. And we are evaluating, of course, the International Data Spaces standards. We've had a scientific committee meeting recently in March, where we have talked about this in order to align our objectives to those standards and to set new objectives for our research, because we are a research innovation action and we have to somehow have a big impact on the research aspect as well and produce nice outcomes on that matter.
Thank you very much, Matteo. So I think it's time now to wrap everything up. I'd like just to remind once again that both the presentation and the video will be fully available as of tomorrow on our Mobispaces website and on the YouTube channel. It's been a really pleasure for us having all of you here as a guest speaker in our webinar today. Mobispaces is running fast toward the closure of its first year of existence in September, and we are going to plan new appointments in the second part of the year, most likely after the summertime. So I'll suggest you to keep up with us, to stay updated. I'm pretty sure that we will have more opportunities the more we move on with our own projects to collaborate together. It's been really helpful for the sake of our project as well to share this appointment with you. And thanks, really, a warm thanks to all of you from our side, and to all of those that have managed to stay with us this afternoon. So thank you very much. I'll wrap up here. Thanks again, guys. We'll be in touch.
We thank you. It was a very nice opportunity to meet together.
Thank you very much.
Take care, everybody. Thanks
Thank you
again.
very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.